welcome you to my very new floss tube, Luxurious Fibers. I'm Liz and I'm recording from the capital of Germany, Berlin. I'm born here in the east side, on the east side of Berlin in the GDR in the 80s, in the beginning of the 80s. I'm 42 years old and yes, I'm grown up here. I'm a real Berliner. And what can I tell you? Now I live on the western part of Berlin, but there's not that much differences anymore. I have two grown-up children and I'm early retired because of health issues. And in my life before, I was a pharmacist and chemistry. So, but then I worked at the pharmacy. And yes, I learned a lot of handcrafts since I was 20. I knitted a lot for my children's baby clothes, blankets, pullover, all the stuff you need. And I learned that from my grandmother of my father. She did a lot of crafts. She was a knitter, a crocheter. Also she did embroidery and cross stitch. And I always admired her work. She did beautiful tablecloth, crochet tablecloth and knitted tablecloth. Really artwork for me. I couldn't do that. That's too complicated for me. And she also did cross stitch, but in these times, in the 70s, 80s, 90s, in the eastern part of Berlin, the cross stitch, yes, you can imagine it was all these pictures with environment and buildings, but in these browns and muddy green tones. And on this canvas, plastic canvas, it was Stramin, it's called in Germany Stramin, and it wasn't real wool, it was like polyester wool, artificial wool. So I didn't enjoy the pictures, the kind of pictures, and yeah, I didn't like it. Also the material which stitched on and the fibers wasn't nice. So I came late to this party, really late. Yeah, I began to stitch last year in March, and because I was on the search for something new. I always like to express myself with fibers and yarns and all kinds of textile things. This is my material. And then I remembered that my grandmother did cross stitch, and I thought, yes, maybe cross stitch could be something for me. And the reason why I was on the search for something new was because I had real serious health issues, and I laid for months, for nearly a year in bed and couldn't hardly walk. So it was boring just to do the knitting. I need something new for my brain to discover, to develop, to, yeah, a new Herausforderung. I don't know this word in English. Yeah, something new. So I went on this search, and the first kit I bought was a printed kit on Ader with a peacock. It was huge. I had no idea about counts, about material. I had no clue, no idea. I bought that. I waited a long time. I think I bought it in January. It comes 6 weeks or 8. Yeah, in the beginning of March I had this kit, and I thought it would be a company in Germany, but it wasn't. It came from China. Yes, so it took a while, and it was huge, like a meter in the width and a half meter in the height. I said, oh wow. And then I began to stitch in hand because this Ada was really stiff. I had no frames, nothing. And then I realized, oh my goodness, all this peacock is sitting on a tree and this is all confetti. And then I realized I hate confetti. Confetti and me, we are not friends. We won't ever be friends. This won't happen. And I just stitched the head of the peacock and the chest, and that's it. So, and then I put it by side, and then I went again on search to find something I like, and I found floss tube, and I looked up a lot of things, and the first thing I found and felt in love was Chatelaines. Yes, you will laugh, but this is the story. My first things I ever stitched and finished were 3 Chatelaines, mini Chatelaines. I bought the charts, the PDFs, I kitted it up all by myself. This was also not easy, and yes, but it was possible. The beads were Mill, easygoing. The most were DMC, just 1 or 2 or 3 silks. I did it and I stitched it up. So this is the first. Yes, welcome to my finish parade. I think this is the best way to introduce yourself, to see what kind of stitcher you are, what kind of taste you have, what you like, and yeah, the people you will get know me. So the first thing is this chart, this Chatelaine chart. It's called Mini Mandala 038, and all 3 mini mandalas are in the same chart. You can buy them together. So, and that's the first thing. So this is stitched on Murano 32 count, and yes, with all the mill beads, all the specialty stitches. YouTube was my master to learn, my teacher. I had no idea what is stitch over 1, what is stitch over 2, with 1 thread, with 2 threads. No clue, no idea. Not a lighter or a magnifier, nothing. So then I realized I had to buy all this stuff, and I did. This is the first one. They are sometimes stitch over 3, sometimes stitch over 1, but at the end it's quite good, yes. And I did Jessica stitches. Here the flowers are Jessica stitches. Algerian eyelets, rhoda stitches, partial rhoda stitches, and yeah, some more. And I think they are just beautiful, these garden patterns. So lovely, so nice. I like geometrical themes and patterns. This is just appealing to me. Yes, and I also had no clue how to frame it. It's just with the packaging paper, tape. So, but it's okay. This is a process of learning. I will leave it like that. It's not perfect, but I don't care. Maybe once I will reframe it, but now for the moment it's okay. I think it will stay like that. Yes, that's the first one. So the next one I stitched from this chart is this one with the fountains, a beautiful garden. This is also stitched on Murano 32 count, 2 over 2, with all the specialty stitches and the beads and petite treasure braid, and In every chart there is one silk, but I don't remember anymore. And this is light gray, Murano light gray from Zweigart, 32 count, yes. And you can see how sparkly it is. Very, very beautiful. And this is my favorite one of this series. This Chinese garden. I love these rhoda stitches and the tea houses. Yeah, I like the color combination of it. And this is a silk, this light blue. Maybe you don't see it that good, but in real you can see it very good. And I substituted the one which was called I couldn't get, and then I just picked something of my own, just anything. And I don't remember which one it was. Yes, so yeah, my 3 first ever stitched projects. I'm super proud of it. And yeah, you can do it. And I was so naive, I had no idea on which level this is, and so I wasn't afraid. I just thought, yeah, I will look it up, what is a Jessica stitch, a lazy daisy, a rhoda stitch, and you can do this. Everyone can do, if you want. You don't have to, but if you want, you can do this. The next thing I stitched, let me check. Ah, yeah. Then I watched a lot of floss tube. And one of my favorite floss tubers, she did last year a lot of floss tubes. At the moment, I think she has problem with her eyesight and she's not stitching that much anymore. It was Nuts X Stitch. And she did the long dog pavan for these times. And I saw this and I felt immediately in love. And I said, oh yes, I have to stitch this like her. So I bought the same floss and nearly the same fabric. It's stitched also on Murano 32 count. Limestone, the number is 6047, the color number. And Nadine stitched it on linen. But at that time, I thought, no, maybe it's better to keep it a little bit more simple and take even weave. It's easier for you, and later on you can go to the linen. So I bought this and I stitched it, and the floss, oh, this is a huge piece, is Mrs. Sada's hydrangea. So I have to keep this like that. So actually this Mrs. Sada hydrangea is a dark purple color, but something has happened and this dye react with the UV light and it's blown out, so it's left a light blue. Now it looks like 100 years old. Nothing to do with the original color anymore, but I like it. It's have this faded look like an old sampler, and yes, and the verse was very appealing to me because I was in bad condition to that time, and this keeps me joy to stitch it. And the verse say, turn your face to the sun and the shadows will fall behind you. So I try to motivate myself and keep my head up and yeah, and do what brings me joy. What bring me joy. Yeah. Oh, this is a heavy one. And yeah, and I have to say that that piece is a really good beginner piece because it's not that huge for a long dog, and it's only stitched over 2, no 1/1, and you have a lot of space between the motifs. So if you make a mistake, it's not that bad. So you can adjust everything. I did a lot of mistakes, but I don't know anymore where these mistakes were, and I can't tell you anymore, and you don't see it. So it's a really good beginner piece. This is an anti-reflection glass, but yeah, there is a now I got it a little bit. It's huge. So, but you see what it's look like. Okay, now my arms get heavy from that huge piece. Yeah, it's a centerpiece on my wall, and every guest who's come in say, wow, what a great piece. So yeah, and I stitched my initials here, and here you can see it, and there I used, let me see if I can get it. Where is it? See. And I used a metallic thread in combination with the silk thread, so there's a little bit of shine and glimmer, but yeah, the camera don't catch it up. So, but yeah. Let me put this away. Whew. The next one is a bit smaller, so good for me with the handling. The next one is also a chatelaine, a little bit bigger. I bought this as a bundle. This is the mystery series, and you will see I'm a sucker for series. Yeah, I like it. I try to complete these, but I think so much as I have, it's a lifetime question, but it's okay. The first thing out of 6 in this series are 6 mystery mandalas I stitched. This is number 6, and this is a labyrinth. What it's called? Labyrinth. Yeah, it's so beautiful. I kitted this up by myself, and this was not easy to get all the Swarovskis and Delica beads and all the crystals. I had to substitute a little bit, but yeah, and as you know, they are not producing anymore, so it wasn't easy to get them. So, and as you see, these are cubes, have this sparkle. Yeah, and all the labyrinth is stitched in different specialty stitches. I try to give you a close-up that you can see better. Eyelets, rhoda stitches, rice stitches, beads. So it's really interesting. Yes, and it's just a beauty. And I love this frame. It's perfect. It catches all these green tones. Yeah, I'm super proud of this. And I will see when it's stitched on 28 count antique white casual linen from Zweigart. The next one, I have to look on my list here. Little House Needleworker. That's the next one. On that side. Yeah. I saw this on Discord. In Germany, we are the Stechmücken on Discord, and someone from Discord stitched it, and I said, oh yeah, that's a nice piece. So I bought the pattern, and at this time I had a complete selection of sulky. on FlossTube I saw sulky and I said, oh wow, stitching with one thread on 32 count, 36 count, also on 32 count. This is appealing to me. I like to stitch with one thread. It's the best for me. So I bought the whole collection, and yeah, here's the outcome. And this is the first piece I tried sulky. So you see the inner part is the original pattern, and all the rest I just added. I just was creative. I stitched one spool more, these cats. Here are some bunnies and squirrels, and these trees and the leaves are not in cross stitch. I tried out several different stitches, and the clouds are with stem stitch and back stitch, and these are French knots. And yeah, also this tree. So this was a lot of fun for me to try out my new sulky, and I just love it. I love it in this frame. It wasn't easy to frame because it's not, the frame is very thin, so I hadn't so much space, and you see it's a bit, but it's okay, it's working. The fabric is this is Tin Roof from Weeks Dye Works, 36 count. Yes, and it's a great fabric. A lot of people say that they don't like the old weave from Weeks Dye Works. I love it. I really enjoy this loose weave. It's perfect for me. I like to stitch on that. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, lovely piece. So next one, yeah, I can put it here. The next one is, yeah, Plum Street. Yeah, like that. I made this floss bed out of it. These are these Plum Street stackables, where these animals were on top of each other, always 3 of them. So they are super cute. I have a lot of them, but not all. And I also used sulky threads. And what I learned in this journey is, read first the whole pattern. This is stitched on 8 or 18 count. I was trying to stitch in hand, and then I thought, oh yes, it's more easy to stitch in hand with an Aida fabric. But the faces of the slots are stitched 1/1, and this is pain in the ass with Aida and sulky threads. So I gave my best, and I think it's still okay. The faces turned out cute, but I wouldn't do it again. I would choose a even weave or a linen to do it. Yeah. So, and also I glued this fabric and everything on mat board, and glued also this ribbon on. And it was the first time I did something like that. So you see, I used too much glue. I would do it now differently. And inside you have these fleece. It's like a book, so very handy. And this fleece, the threads will lay nicely, and yeah, won't disappear. Won't go on a journey on your couch or your living room or bedroom or wherever. So yeah, and here you can put your needles. I love my book. Yeah. So you see, I try a lot of different finishes. I like to do this and to learn new stuff. And I love to try new threads and fabrics. I'm super curious, and yeah, I'm a collector. I'm a huge collector too, and I have a huge stash of different threads, and I can't have enough, because then I like to make my own conversions, and I just can dive into my stash and see what I have and choose from what I have, and this is the most fun for me. So the next one I stitched, this is my project roll. This I made with my very good stitchy friend and friend from the heart, Lydia. She's also on Discord. There we have met us there on Discord, and since last year, and she made this beautiful chart. She charted this. This is her idea, and then we develop it together more. And I said, yeah, I want to stitch that too. It's so beautiful. It's so 1800s, 1700s, and we made this chart together, put our ideas together. And she is Craftalies on Instagram. I will link her below. So this is a freebie. If you're interested, you can write her a message, and she will send you the chart. So this is huge. So it's called The Fragrance of the Rose, and as you can see, this is I have to translate. This is in German. I will read it in German. Maybe one of you guys will understand it. Das Leben beginnt an dem Tag, an dem man einen Garten anlegt. And this is a Chinese saying, and it said, your life begin at that day you make a garden. Yeah. So, and the rose is the queen of the garden. So here is stitched with soie fine a crown, and this is the key for the garden gate here down below. Here are my initials. I'm Elizabeth, and Liz is my nickname. So, and this is also stitched with au soir and au soir metallic threads, and a combination of the metallic threads and au soir 103 or soie fine. I don't know anymore exactly what I used. So yeah, and these silks is all stitched in silks. Is these Chinese silks, and you see how shiny they are. These are satin stitches. And when you stitch, this is all the same silk style, the same brand of silks. But when you stitch with them satin stitches, you see how shiny they are. The whole glory comes out. And in the middle there is a Algerian eyelet. So, and then I found this lace. It's a metallic lace. I stitched it on, and this beautiful fabric. It's also metallic gold, and it has this Art Deco look, and I love Art Deco. It's one of my favorite times. I love the buildings, I love the interior, I love the jewelry, I love everything with Art Deco. And inside I have this beautiful turquoise minty silk satin. So yeah, and it's super handy. You can put all your whips inside, and they be nice and flat and don't get crinkly. And I will stitch another one, because when I travel I don't want to take all my whips with me. I just want to take the whips I just want to take. So I need another one, and I will do another one. Maybe not that big. It's like, yeah, 60, 70 centimeter in the width. But you can adjust this chart. You don't have to stitch all the flowers. You can leave some out, and then it's not that much. Then you don't have this with, you can adjust this. So it's a super nice chart, and it was so much fun to create this with Lydia. I really enjoyed this a lot. Yeah. So the next one is my strawberry pin cushion. This is something I just made out of my head with no chart, just a little piece of fabric and just stitched right away. So my husband, he also like antiques, and this is a antique. This is over 200 years old, silver sugar box, sugar, what do you say, tin? So, and he gave that to me, and inside it's golden. It's a real gold inside. So I love this shape. It's really beautiful made. So, and oh no, there are the pins still inside. One moment, I do that you can see it better. I put the pins out. So this is stitched on 32 count limestone, color number 6047, stitched 1/1, also with these shiny threads. I just picked the color, and then I just, these are back stitches. I put it out, maybe then you can see better. Back stitches, and then I just stitched the strawberries 1/1 with a lighter color and a deeper red, and then I added some beads for the, oh, what it's called, knospen. Yeah, you see what it is. I don't know in English. And then I had this beautiful crystal button. It's a button. Since long time I'm collecting beautiful things and crafty things, and I have a huge box with special buttons, and this was just perfect for this. And then I cut out a round piece, and I added this fabric, one of my favorite fabrics. Yeah, and that's it. So, and it lives in this sugar box. Very nice. So, yeah, let's put here the needles in there. The next one I stitched strawberry. Oh yeah, heartstring sampler. I stitched this pin cushion. No, it's a biscornu. Then I watched FlossTube and Instagram, and I saw this. Someone stitched this on Instagram, and I saw this chart or this biscornu on Instagram, and I thought, oh my goodness, I have to stitch this. And this is how it looks from the other side. It's super beautiful. It's stitched on antique white linen, 46 count, with Auvera Soie Gobelin. And I make my own color choices. This is the first, no, it's not the first time. The other, I choose, no, it's not. No, yeah, I did it again. I didn't make what the designer said. I chose my own colors from my Gobelin Auvera Soie collection. And yeah, and I love this symmetry, and it's just beautiful. And Heartstring Samplery, she has so much beautiful charts, and I think I will stitch another biscornu of her. So, and what I like to do, it's not filled with fiber fill, it's filled with wool, which you can raw wool, and you can fill it, and it has a nice weight then, and it's not that fluffy, it has more stability. And yeah, and all these kind of things like strawberries or yeah, what stands have to stand, I like to fill with that. So yeah. And where's our silks? I didn't say that, but the most of you will know. So the next one I stitched. Yeah, now we are in December, and I thought, yeah, Christmas is coming and I have to make some presents for my family and beloveds, and I did. So I can show you, but I will insert pictures because I don't have them anymore, but 2 of these series I have. So I discovered on Etsy the stitch pattern they called, and they turn art into little pictures, into little charts from famous artists from the past. They are all died, so there's no copyright anymore. And I stitched them. So this is the Great Wave of Kanagawa, and I love this little picture in this huge frame. I love this contrast a lot. And I also did my own conversion. They are charted in DMC, and I used sulky, and I have made a whole conversion of it, and I think it turned out quite nice. And this one I made for my husband, and he really loves this. He liked this picture a lot. So, and this one I did for me, La Noche Estrellada. Yep. So I like this a lot. This one is a little bit bigger, and I'm not very good, but I cut the passepartout out by myself, and yeah, it's okay, but not perfect, as you can see. Maybe if the reflection is, yeah, here we go. So yeah, nice. And I also stitched the Son of Man for my sister, and I stitched for my son the Kiss from Klimt, and yeah, Water Lilies from Monet for a friend. She has also a birthday in December. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that a lot. So, and then I had another huge finish in November. I participated in the sale from Witchy Stitcher Supernatural, and I finished it in November, and this was a lot of fun. So here you see it. So, and it's also stitched with sulky on 32 count vintage country mocha, Belfast linen from Zweigart, 1/2 sulky. It's always one. It's 1.5 thick as DMC. And yeah, and all these little creatures are so cute, and they came always. The email she sent it to us was always so nicely made, with all the background stories and a video, or no, it was a music clip that matches together or related to that. So And there are some figures I didn't know before. So there's the Banshee. This is from Ireland. And she comes when someone will die, and then she screams. When you hear the scream of the Banshee, then someone will die. And also the Striga I didn't know before. The Striga is that one. I think she's from the Balkan area here in Europe, and it's like a witch, but she has some more special things she can do. This is what I remember. And my favorite is the demon. I think he looks so cool, and I like to make the French knots. So maybe you can see better. So yeah, here we go. Great. So, and this is a custom size frame, because I like to frame my samplers with very little space. I think this is looking the best. I like it that way. Yeah, very proud of it. Was a lot of fun to make. Very happy that I did it. So, and then for Christmas time, I bought the whole series from Plum Street Noah's Ark. These are always a couple of animals, Noah's Ark, yeah, obviously, and they're so cute. Yeah, I stitched them, just the hangers I stitched two of them. One was a present for my sister, and one for me. Before Christmas I could achieve this, and I also stitched all of these with sulky threads again on 32 count. And this is Zweigart linen opalescent natural, I think. Yes, and thank you Warner Pfeiffer for your great tutorials, how to make these pin cushions and sew them and make these bows. And I added a little bell and a very great nice fabric for the back. Yes, and then I stitched nearly all the others but after Christmas, so to the early January I stitched them. So these are the bees, and sometimes I just pick colors from my collection. These are all sulky threads, and I have also a big bead collection, and I added some beads when I felt like that. These are for the I don't know what they are called. Yeah, these are the red ones, are beads. So these are the bees, the parrots, and oh, this is sulky, but this is cottage garden thread, and this is Mrs. Sada's silk rouge, the parrots, the violet. So there I used something else, but cute, nice, I love it. Yeah, and these are the giraffes. No, this is stitched, not a bead. The doves. The crocodiles. Even the crocodiles are sweet. How lovely. And sulky has really beautiful variegated colors too. So yeah, these are also the doves. No, birds, just birds. These are my favorite. These are the llamas. They are so cute, and I added these sparkly beads. So yeah, They're so great. The backstitch I didn't do with sulky. This is the sulky is too thick for doing backstitch. These are DMC, the backstitch. Every time. I never use sulky for backstitch. And yeah, the panda bears. And these are beads, the candy sticks. And last but not least, the cheaps. So, yeah. So, and yeah, there are 4 more to go. But I don't know, I have a lot of plans. I don't know if I reach them. I will do them this year, but not all, but maybe 1 or 2. So I have left Noah's Ark, the whales, and the squirrels. These are American squirrels because the European squirrels are not gray, they are red. So maybe I will turn them in red squirrels to adjust them to this area I live. And the ravens and the deers. So, which one is your favorite? Write in my comments which one I do next, or I should do next. I can't decide. I love them all. So, and this was a tip from Warner Pfeiffer to put everything in the bag for later. So here I have the cutted pieces for the back, the belts and the ribbon, and enough fabric for the rest 4 patterns. So everything is prepared. I just can go every time I want. Yes. And all this lives in that box waiting for next Christmas. So if I forget to mention something, I will put my Instagram down below in the description box, and you can look it up there. In every post I did on Instagram, there are always the flaws and the fabric and the count and details mentioned. Or just write me, put it in the comments, I will look it up and give you the information what I forget to mention. I will love to do this. So, I think this was everything from 2022. Yes, I think with 2022 we are done. Now we come to the finishes for this year. And that's a lot. That's still a lot. So, oh no. There was another sale I did in December. It's every year. It's Chatelaine. I think you will know it. And they make these beautiful patterns. And I used, in Europe, we have Sinistrene Grene. And they have also a handcraft or a craft area. And they have packages for stitchy yarn, for embroidery threads, and I used their threads the first time, and I really like to stitch with them. So this is, I think this is 28 count, and it's stitched 2/2, and these threads are not so shiny. They are more muted and yeah, not mercerized. They are not so shiny, so as you can see. But I really like the look. So, and I made this book, I made this journal then for me. And the great thing was you could choose all this. You couldn't choose, but the ending, this part here, you could choose. And the frame, you could choose different frames. and I choose organized because it the size fits perfectly on this journal. And yeah, I created this journal for me, and here I put my stitch journey into it. And you see again this lovely fabric I love so much. And yeah, I just put things I like inside and my finishes. And yeah, this is this side, and I have also a list of, yeah, all the finishes in the year, and this is the next year. So okay. The next one I started, or I stitched, was again with my friend Lydia together, Craftilies on Instagram. And this is a sneak peek. This will be released, this chart, on at Stitch Basel this year. Yet now in September, I think it's the middle of September, and there it will be released. And afterwards, when it's released, if you like it, you can write her and buy this pattern from her. So, and I model stitched that for her. I was so happy that I could do this for her, and it turns out so beautiful. I love this biscornu. This is I don't know in English. In German it's called Kornblume. I have to look that up. And it's stitched in silk from Color Fever. She's a dyer from Europe, from the Switzerland, and she make beautiful silks. And I added a lot of beads. I actually stitched it twice, once for her and once for me. And on mine I made more beads because I like beads. Yeah, so I added here a lot of beads and a cube. Also here there's a cube added. Yeah, and I stuffed it again with wool, so it has a nice weight. And she also charted this scissor fob, this hanger, and oh, it's so beautiful. And I added this bling. I love bling. I love crystals and beads. Yeah, just beautiful. And yeah, I have these antique spools, and there it goes. Perfect, perfect. So, oh, die habe ich nicht. Okay. So now it's not in a real particular order. I just grab things and can say if I stitch it in the beginning of the year or in the middle or in this month. So, but I would like to start with a series. I have 2 series I stitched this year. I do 1 pattern a month, and at the end of the year I have a whole collection. One of them are the monthly Quakers from, what is her name? Stitching from the Heart, needle art by Wendy. I think you will know this. It's super popular. So, and I will show you what I did. So, and these are all stitched on 32 count linen with sulky threads. In every chart there are just 3 colored, so it's easy to choose your own fabric, to choose your own colors, and this is exactly what I did. So this is August, and then I just switch out the picture for every month. So these are just laced like that, and then I just can switch it next year. They are all done and easy peasy. This is July. June, I really like June. I like this color combination from the yellows, greens and blues. May, April, oh so lovely. Also these antique rose colors with the greens, beautiful. Right up my alley is that. March, February, this is also so beautiful. This is one of my favorites too. And January, yes. So then my other series I stitched one pattern a month from Blackbird Designs Garden Club series. I have 4 different linens and I also colored them. Here it's a little bit darker so that I have a wider range, because all these little patterns will patchwork together at the end, and then you have a huge sampler with 12 pieces. So I just show you. This is a raw linen, all on 36. It's all 36. It's all the same count. So, and these are tiny, but a lot of colors and nearly all the called for. And sometimes I personalize it. So here you can read Sweet Home Berlin. Yes. So, and we have that one. It's all Weeks Dye Works. And I think that color here is an anchor thread. I substituted because, yeah, of some reason I don't remember anymore. And also I couldn't get antique rose from Weeks Dye Works, so I dyed my own floss. So this color here, which is on the outside, it's an antique rose. I just used blank DMC and I colored it in the color I wanted. I dyed it in the color I wanted. So now I have a beautiful antique rose hand dyed thread. And this linen, this fabric is vintage country mocha. So, then we have that one. Beautiful, just beautiful. I think Blackbird has such charming, vintagey, great look. One of my favorite designers. Yes, so August I still have to stitch. Also the monthly Quaker. No, August I did. August the monthly Quaker I did, but I have to stitch the Garden Club. Yeah, and then September. Yeah, Garden Club. I'm not behind. August we have 2 weeks left. I'm still good. I am still good. I also have some of the patterns, not the whole series, but I think 3 or 4 patterns from Blackbird Loose Feather series. And the first one I stitched. I also already have the frames for it, but I didn't stitch the other 3, so I don't want to cut my fabric. I cut it when I stitched all of them. And then I will frame them. Also Weeks Dye Works threads all called for. Just put sometimes my initials here, and it's on 36 count beige linen. Yes. So then we have Blackbird. We stay with Blackbird. I always wanted to make a casket, and I did. This is my casket, the first one I ever did. You can buy these caskets, they are blank. I dyed it darker and oiled it with an oil. I don't know in English, this kind of oil. So, and this pattern is from the Blackbird book, Home for the Holidays. This pattern is called The Meadow. And I stitched this, I made my own conversion. I stitched this with the anchor linen threads, and this was a journey. So yeah, they're super thin and sometimes they get thicker. It's not that easy to stitch with them. A piece like this, that small, I would do, but I wouldn't. So for me, it's just personal, I wouldn't stitch a huge sampler with it. It's, yeah, you can do it, but it takes your time. You really have to pull the thread very slowly through the linen. They are super sensitive, these threads. But the nice thing is they are dyed with plant colors, so the colors are super natural and they all match together. There are 36 colors and they are played beautiful together, so the outcome is the effort worth it. So, and I colored inside with gold, with a golden acrylic paint. Yeah, and in this piece we have a needle sharpener and a needle threader and my strawberry, my very first strawberry from Erica Michaels. And this is stitched on 52 count old linen I bought somewhere, and I dyed this linen by myself. And the thread I used is Gütermann threads, silks. These are Gütermann silks, and I think they have 200 colors or something, and they are stitched so beautifully. I love the Gütermann silks and I will buy more of them. I really enjoy to stitch with them, and beautiful colors. So these are tiny cheaps. In real life you can see better the white snowflakes, but now it's blown out. And yeah, I just put a snowflake button to finish it. Yeah, and thank you Warner Pfeiffer for the tutorial. She made the best tutorials, so I learned so much from her. I hope she will do a long time again. So then I found out what are ornaments and pin cushions. I didn't know before what to do with these stuffs. I saw this in YouTube and thought, yeah, why they make all these little cushions and pillows, and for what, and where, how to use them. It was a miracle for me. And then I saw it that they just decorate with them, and then I thought, okay, now it makes totally sense for me. And I felt in love and made also some of my pillows. So we start with, this is Samplers Primitives, Bee Quaker. All the called for colors on 36 count platinum. And this edge called picot edging with beads. And I just used, yeah, here we go. Velveteen, just a nice velveteen. Yeah, beautiful chart. I love Quakers and animals. It's the perfect combination for me. And also from Samplers Primitives, is this bunny cracker. I love this bunny. It's so well charted, and I used all the called for colors. I did also this picot etching and a nice velveteen, yeah. And I also really love Brenda Gervais, and I stitched Blessings Be Thine with all the called for thread. Instead of this Waldani thread, I just use an anchor thread for that. And yeah, these pom-poms, and also a super nice velveteen. Yeah, and I like to touch them and have them sometimes in my hand. And one idea is maybe to put lavender seeds or something that smells good, like cedar wood, inside this, and stuff the rest with polyfibers, and then the pincushion will smell very nice. So I think I will do this the next time. So, and then I bought the book from Twin Peaks Primitives Red Smalls. So, and I also made this basket. Well, yeah. And I stitched a lot out of the book. And I used Mrs. Sada's Rouge. It's a silk on 40 count tea-dyed fabric from Zweigart. It's a Newcastle. I think it was a white Newcastle. I tea-dyed it by myself, coffee tea-dyed. And yeah, just stitched it up. And this is a beautiful silk satin on the back. This is Be Mine. Red sampler, whoop, upside down. Yeah. And I added this lace here on the top and bottom. Then this one. This is an anchor thread because I didn't have a lighter silk, so I just bought an anchor thread. This is easy to get here in Berlin. I just can go to Karstadt, it's called, or Galeria Kaufhof, and yeah, very easy to get. We don't get DMC, we have to buy it online. No shop have DMC here, but Anchor they have. So if you want to have a thread right away, you have to use Anchor. And then it was Easter time this year, and I saw Samplers Primitives. They had a bunny chart that go very well together with my Twin Peaks Red Smalls. I bought it and I stitched it up. It's all stitched in Mrs. Sada's. This is Rouge and the rest is copper, the color. So, yeah. And also in this book there was a biscornu. I like biscornus. I will have a big collection once with biscornus, and it's so beautiful charted. I added these beads and these crystals for the middle, so just beautiful. And then I added a needle roll. This is my first needle roll. This was my idea, and Lydia from Crafterlies, she charted it for me. So my idea, the work, did Lydia. So this is how it looks. It's my first one, so I'm learning still. This is a silk ribbon I dyed by myself. Oh, there's a knot, and yeah, you just open it and roll it, and yeah, just wonderful. And I also made by myself a scissor fob in that style, but it's in my garden cabin. We have a garden here in Berlin. It's called Schrebergarten, with a house, with a cabin, and there I have also a second stitchy spot with everything, and some things are there. There's my scissor with this scissor fob, so I can show you. So, and the inside I made like that. This is a linen ribbon. I just added this, and inside there's linen, high count linen, so when you put your needles inside they can't fall out. It's just super safe. So, but yeah, that's it. It's my first one. The next one I will sew better. The ribbon here, it's not perfectly sewn, but yeah, I learn. Okay, so then in July I decided that I have a piece from 2022 I really wanted to finish. This is also a long dog sampler, hoity-toity, and I was halfway through, and then I said, no, I just stitch this monogamous until it's finished, because this was a huge investment too, because I made by myself a silk conversion, and it's so beautiful, and but so much work. So it's dense stitching. It's really dense stitching. And after 3 weeks, I was finished. I finished it in July. Yes. And here we go. So much glare. No. Yeah. So here you can see. So it's all soie d'Alger, and the fabric is Tiger's Eye from Weeks Dye Works, 36 count. And yes, I love the colors. I love the vibrant colors. I love the muted tones. And my border matched up. So I was so happy. Yes. This is so nice. These are my initials, AK, Elizabeth Kuhn, 2023. These birds, and yeah, some, I think, foxes, but they are, you can see them really not so good because the color is very close to the fabric, but sometimes I like it because then you have to, it's like searching eggs. You will discover that later. So I like these finds in a picture. Yes. So, and I bought this frame on Amazon, and it's like custom size. You can click the width and the height by centimeter. So at the end it will match perfectly. And it came with, here the inner frame came with light gold, and I colored it in this color. It's a metallic blue gray greenish color. Here it looks very shiny. In real it's not that. Yeah, it's matched perfectly. So I really like it. And you also see these light blues, grays in this frame. I'm so happy that I found it. And it's the middle piece on my wall back. I hang everything down. Normally it hangs behind me. So, and on my birthday in January, my friend Lydia, she gave me this present, Hands Across the Sea chart. It's a red sampler, Edna Verania nickel, and I stitched it up in just 2 or 3 days. It's so beautiful. It's also on 40 count, tea-dyed by me, and stitched with a Gloriana Florimel silk in Schoolhouse Red. Yes, and it's so beautiful. I just love it. So easy, so clean, and I like these reproduction sampler that they charted also the little mistakes. I like it a lot. So it's just cute. Yes. And I think this I finished in June. This is drawn thread, and oops, it's with the magnet fixed. All the called for silks, NPIs and dinky dyes, and it's stitched on 32 count Belfast linen from Zweigart in the colorway cream. And yes, I love drawn thread. They also use specialty stitches like these violets. Look how beautiful they are. And the lilac, these are specialty stitches too. It's a dinky dyes and a beautiful color variation. So beautiful. And I found this frame, and here's a fabric I glued on. And I have 3 more charts of this drawn thread series, and I will stitch it exactly like this again, and then I can just switch it out. Yes, that's the plan. So what I have next? Oh yeah, there's still more. All in 23. So this is Brenda Gervais Redbird sampler on 36 count linen, Edinburgh, hand dyed by me. I dyed it. So, and I made our wedding sampler out of it. These are my birth name. No, this is my birth name, the name of my husband, and our wedding date. Yes. And I like the way I finished it. I like it a lot. So yeah, really, really nice. And it's so hard to get charts from Brenda Gervais here in Germany. 1, 2, 3 stitch don't buy them anymore or sell them anymore this way around, because they get the charts so hardly, and I don't know what the thing is. So 1, 2, 3 stitch is the shop I can buy, and the shipping is very inexpensive. So, but when they don't owe anymore Brenda Gervais, I have no idea how to get her charts, and I would love to stitch more from her, but yes, I will see. There will be a solution to get her charts. I would like to have the drum girl in her garden. Yes, this I would really like to have, and I will find a way to get it. So there have to be a way to get her charts in Europe. So it's not, we are not out of the world, right? So, and the next one I stitched is an ink circle. That one, Mantis Life, stitched on 32 count, 2 threads over 2, all called DMC. And this is a Valdani silk, and I think a Karen water lilies. Yes, and if you want to know this exactly, you can go to my Instagram. On every under every posting there are the fabric and the threads exactly mentioned. There you can find out if you want to know exactly which Karen water lily and which Valdani I used. And this is a Belfast linen, vintage blue, or these modeled blue fabrics. And I found this beautiful frame for it, and yes, I love the combination. And Tracy Horner from Ink Circle, she's just a genius. I love the wordplay, love, pray, eat. It's just hilarious. So yeah, I can highly recommend this chart. Every woman have to have this on her wall. Yeah. And the next one I did, this was something very new for me. It's a needlepoint piece. Last year my aunt from America. She came to Europe and I could do a lot of shopping. She brought it to me because Needle Delights don't deliver to Europe anymore or ever, I don't know. So, and it's just beautiful. But I have to say it wasn't easy to read the chart. There were mistakes inside and I have to frog several times, but at the end I did it. And yes, I taped it and it's coming off. This tape, the glue doesn't stay to this plastic canvas and I have to make a real passepartout, but it was the quick solution. But yeah, I have to redo it. But as you can see, and there in needlepoint there are like pearl cottons and a lot of different threads I never used before, and yes, this I like a lot. And a lot of stitches I never, a Scott stitch and a Gobelin stitch, and yeah, this like a wheel stitch, I think. Yeah, it's just, yeah, beautiful. I love it. I would like to do more of it, but I can't get it. So yes, I have to bring one more thing. I'll be right back. So I also bought from Mill Hill these Nomis, Garden Nomis series, these beaded ornament, not beaded. There are beads inside, but not only beaded. And there are 6 pieces inside, or not inside, there are 6 charts in this series, 3 Nomis and 3 houses. So at the moment I did the bee Nomi, oops, and I finished this on cardboard. And then I just glued fabric on the back. Yes, so, and I think it turned out really, really nice. And then I did Wheel Nomi, super cute with this little charm, key charm, and also the same fabric. And here is one house, the mushroom house from one of these Nomis. And the rest I still have to do. Yeah, and I had a fabric with little mushrooms. Yes, so nice. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all my finishes from 2022 and 2023. This is a long video. I hope you liked what you see, and yeah, if you have any question, put it down in the comments. I'm love to answer them. I put in the description, I try to put the most of the designers and people I mentioned in the description. I will try to put some pictures into that video for editing. I hope I will find out for these little art pieces I stitched. I try to insert them. And if you liked what you see, click subscribe and hit the bell that you get a notification when next video come out. And my next video will be a regular floss tube where I show all my whips. I don't have that much, so it's not, I couldn't do a whip parade, it's not that many. And show you some of my haul and plans I have, I want to do. Yeah, I have a lot of things that I can show and talk about. I would love to talk about, and I hope you will come back and we will see us again. Bye bye.